Hello everybody, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to another government scheme session. So now we have decided to cover all the schemes that are being mentioned in your interim budget, because see, these are the ones which have high chances of being asked in the examination. And if you talk about the National Social Assistance Program, so here is recently, like on 6th of February, it was in news, alright, and there the detailed about the scheme was given. Okay, so see, this National Social Assistance Program, it's an umbrella scheme. Umbrella means it's a big name, and under it there are various sub schemes that are there which in a way cater to the main objective, main aim of the particular scheme. Okay, so what we are going to do today, see, you need not to worry, your examination is not near. Okay, it's my responsibility before your examination, all the important scheme that we do and we revise also. Okay, so today's scheme that we are discussing, we are going to cover it in few parts. What does it mean? Today we will, in a general understanding, we will understand about this umbrella scheme, and then what are the sub schemes under it that we are going to do in subsequent sessions. Why is it so? Because you need to understand there are 5 schemes under this particular program. Okay, so if we are going to cover all the 5 in today's session, it will be very hectic for you also, and your brain might not be able to catch all the data, right? So that is why it's better if we move step by step, we understand from starting to end very in a detailed manner, in a very comprehensive manner, so that you have proper and clear understanding of the scheme. Because even if you're going for RBI, NABARD or any such examination, pension schemes are asked. So under this, financial assistance is provided, pension is also provided, other sort of financial assistance is also provided. That is why it's important to look about this scheme. Okay, so we will understand about the scheme in detail, about what is this umbrella scheme, when was this launched, who implements it and everything. But before that, here's an announcement for all the aspirants who are preparing for central regulatory bodies. We have come up with one-stop solution guide to all the queries that you must be having regarding the organization you want to join. For example, if you want to know more about RBI, NABARD, SEBI, all the detailed information has been provided along with its hierarchical structure in the organization, what will be your role once you join the organization at a certain post and whatnot. After that, we have mentioned everything about the recruitment process. So how many phases are there, what is the pattern of each phase, what is the eligibility criteria that is required. Apart from that, syllabus, previous cut of trend to let you know that what is the difficulty level of the examination and everything. At the end, we have given some steps so that if you're going for self-preparation, these steps can help you to boost up your preparation. So do not miss the opportunity. These guidebooks are free of cost. So the link that is provided in the description box below, and you can take the benefit. Now talking about the scheme, why this particular scheme was launched. Okay, so see, here in India we have a constitution, right? Everybody know about it, and there are some directive principles under it. What are these directive principles? So in the constitution, whatever be the articles that are there, the citizens have to abide by them, right? But there are some directive principles which were made that in future government should think of these things. It means that these directive principles, these are some of the wishes the government would want to have in future. However, they are not obligated. Okay, they are not obliged with it. Means they don't have to mandatory do that. Okay, that does not come under the rule. Okay, for example, Panchayati Raj, initially it was under DPSP, it was envisaged that we should have a community at the local level, but then after a while with the 73rd amendment, it was included in the constitution, right? So अब ये जो directive principle है, we have, for example, this particular scheme which talks about the social assistance. So from the name itself, we understand that here we have to provide some assistance socially, means to people we have to provide. Okay, and when we are talking about we definitely means government. Okay, so government have to provide some assistance socially to people, or means to people. ठीक है, अब इसमें what are we envisaging, what is government envisaging? So basically there are some directive principle, and especially the article 41 and 42 of the constitution, which the government they would try to cater. Article 41 says about the constitution that the government should have this provide public assistance to the citizens for providing them with employment opportunities if they do not have these employment opportunities, and if they are of old age, they are of sick, they are of disability, it is the you can say responsibility of the government to provide them with some social assistance so that they can live with dignity. ठीक है, तो here the government is saying, so by the DPSP we have of article 41, the government is trying to say that first of all to provide the opportunities for the people to have employment, to have a dignity of life. But if they do not have, if they are unemployed, in case of unemployment or old age or sickness or disability or other such cases where the person is not able to take care of himself, then it is the responsibility of government. When we say state, we are not talking we are talking about the in general India itself. ठीक है, तो here it's been said that in such cases government will provide social assistance to such people. So that is our article 41 of DPSP, or you can say directive principles, and this is what taken into consideration for when the particular scheme was launched. ठीक है, अब article 42 क्या कहता है? Basically article 42 talks about to having a good environment in the employed when in the employment environment. ठीक है, तो 42 is one step ahead of 41, but in this one we are specifically focusing on 41 because here we will also talk about the people who are of old age, who are widow, who cannot take care of themselves, so the government will provide the assistance to it. ठीक है, so that was all about this scheme is all about. Now we will understand step by step one more other details, what are the components under it, when was it launched, everything. ठीक है, so starting off, when was it launched? So the particular scheme was launched back in 1995. However, time to time there have been revisions that have been done under the scheme. ठीक है, for example, revision of what sense? For example, we are saying that here financial assistance will also be provided to old age, to the widows, right? So you can imagine in the 1995 the amount that was given, it would have been comparatively lesser because the inflation was low, right? And even the needs were not that much. The everything was can be done in very less amount, right? But with the passage of time, we know even the needs have been increased, the inflation has increased, right? So this money revision have also been done. So time to time this money revisions have been done. ठीक है, but initially if we talk about when the scheme was launched, it was launched in 1995, and in fact if you look at the news now, so the latest news is this only, that it has been now extended till 2026. ठीक है, आपकी 2026 तक ये आपकी extend हो चुकी है if you look at the latest revision that has been done under the scheme. Now this scheme initially it fall under the Ministry of Rural Development. However, please do not think that this focuses only to the people of rural India. No, this will also cater to the people who are in need of the urban areas. However, there is some certain eligibility criteria. The most important being the people who belong to below poverty line, they will come under this even if they belong to rural India or if they belong to the urban India. However, initially when the scheme was launched, it was launched under the Ministry of Rural Development and it still falls under it. ठीक है, so at the national level, the Minister of Rural Development will take care of it, right? But at the state level, then there are several agencies that they will take care of it. ठीक है, तो nationally तो ये आपका Minister of Rural Development के अंदर आ रहा है, right? But ये आपका state wise, from state to state, the implementing agencies might differ. For example, usually in the state, the Social Welfare Department, they can implement this particular scheme. They can take care that okay, whatever be the benefits that have to be provided under the scheme, they should be provided under this. ठीक है, but in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Goa, Meghalaya and West Bengal, it's being directly implemented by the Rural Development Department. देखो सिंपल सी बात है, national level में Ministry of Rural Development is taking care of it. However, at the state level, any department can take care of it. For example, in some departments, Social Welfare Department can take care. In some states, we have seen you need not to memorize that in which state which department is implementing. No, but just to give you a brief idea that at the state level anybody can implement it. ठीक है, जैसे आपका रूरल डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट इन चार स्टेट में ले रही है, द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ विमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द implementation of the scheme in Odisha and Puducherry. Okay, in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, जैसे revenue department ले रहा है. Just to give you an idea, right? Please keep in mind you need not to memorize everything that is mentioned in this paragraph. It was just to give you an idea that at the state level, any department can be implementing this particular scheme, but all in all at the national level this particular scheme it falls under the Ministry of Rural Development. ठीक है, अब what was the aim? So we have understood somewhere, you know, it was catering to the article 41. ठीक है, तो aim if we generally if we look have, that is to have a social protection, first of all to provide them with the opportunities with the employment, but if it is not there or they cannot be employed because of the sick age, because they are sick, because they are old, right? These are the cases where they cannot do job even if they want to. So in such cases there is some financial assistance and the social protection that is needed, right? So aim kya tha generally कि ये social protection should be provided everywhere in the country to the required people, to the beneficiaries, to the people in need, and uniformly without any interruption. Uniformly means all across India everybody should be given a dignified life. This was the aim, and with that this particular objective came under the scheme, okay, to provide the social assistance to benefit the poor household in case of old age, or maybe for example देखो क्या होता है, there was a breadwinner in the family, now the person has died and all were dependent on them, so in that case now they require money, right? They require money to live, for the livelihood. So in that case social assistance will be provided. Or in the case of maternity, at least for first 6 months it's being said, right, that the mother should take rest and take care of baby and everything, right? So during that time period who will give the money, right? So there should be some financial assistance. So all the objectives will be catered under this, and if you look at the official guideline, it said that it's a centrally sponsored scheme, means whatever be the funding that will be there, because there are say 5 components. It might happen that in some component only central is giving assistance, right? But all in all, if you look at the national social assistance program, it comes under, it's a centrally sponsored scheme. It means what? That the funding, it is being divided between center and state. ठीक है, I hope there is no confusion as of now. Article 41 42 you can memorize for once, ठीक है. Apart from that, launch in 95, अभी for now it has been extended till 2026, ठीक है, ये याद रखना है, 2026 तक launch हुई है, falls under the Ministry of Rural Development, okay. And what is the aim? That is to have the social protection, ठीक है. अभी तक हमने ये सब पढ़ा है, and it's a centrally sponsored scheme as a whole. Now coming to the eligibility. So eligibility a little bit we have understood, but then again now let's look at it, ठीक है. If in general I have to say, the basic eligibility is that the person, the beneficiary must belong to the BPL category, okay. Now in the rural areas there is a BPL census 2002 that has come, so on that basis it's being checked that if the person belongs to BPL or not, okay, and after that only the benefits are provided. In the urban areas there are various urban poverty elevation programs that are running, okay, and in this poverty elevation program there are the list of the names or the families which been provided that okay they belong to the BPL category, so on that basis the benefits will be provided, ठीक है. ये है general criteria. However, because we are understanding that the scheme is running from 1995 and it's currently 2024, right, that we are in a 2023, okay. So now because of 2024, ठीक है, तो अब because of that क्या हुआ कि there must have been various changes in between that has done, right? So it might be the case that the currently whatever be the recent criteria of BPL category we have, maybe many beneficiaries who were having the benefit initially they are not having now, Hana, means the name of the beneficiaries which were initial, their names might not be now, Hana. So in that case government has said that they need not to worry, if there is no name mentioned in the new list they will still have the benefit, ठीक है. तो either way everybody is going to get the benefit who actually deserve under the scheme. The first one being must belong to the BPL line, ठीक है, according to whatever be the government of India criteria is there, उसके according उसमें आने चाहिए, ठीक है. अगर बात करें रूरल एरिया की या न्यू बेनिफिशरीज की, whoever be the new beneficiaries, ठीक है, as per the BPL census 2002 prepared by the states, UTs, ठीक है, so they will come under the scheme. Apart from that ये किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट जो निकालता है, ठीक है. अगर बात करें अर्बन एरियाज की, देन पावर्टी एलिवेशन प्रोग्राम होते हैं, ठीक है, बीपीएल लिस्ट होती है एज पर द बीपीएल लिस्ट रिक्वायर्ड टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड इन कनेक्शन विद पावर्टी एलिवेशन प्रोग्राम. सो वॉट एवर बी द नेम ऑफ द लिस्ट दैट विल बी देयर, बट इफ देर आर एग्जिस्टिंग बेनिफिशरीज एंड देयर नेम आर नॉट प्रेजेंट इन द बीपीएल लिस्ट, ठीक है, सो दे विल स्टिल बी एलिजिबल, दे विल कंटिन्यू टू गेट द पेंशन because they were eligible as per the old criteria. So new beneficiary will be added as per the BPL list, ठीक है, prepared by the states and UTs, ठीक है, जो कि guidelines कौन provide करता है? Ultimately who provide the guidelines that okay these are the guidelines, these are the you can say pillars, on that basis only a person will be categorized BPL or APL, that is provided by the Ministry of Rural Development, ठीक है. So state and UTs then they come up with their own list, ठीक है, BPL list लाती है, new beneficiaries वैसे identify होंगे. In urban areas the list has been made as in connection with the poverty elevation program, on that basis they will get the benefit. However if there were beneficiaries initially and they are not present in this new list, because these lists are prepared by states and UTs, right? So there might be modification that happens. Ministry of Rural Development might come with the new modifications, right? So in that cases, whoever are the existing beneficiaries, they will continue to have the benefit irrespective of if their name is present in the new BPL list or not. I hope there is no confusion. It's a live stream that is going on. If you have any query regarding till now, you can ask me, and if you are watching a recorded video after that, you can just post the comment. I'll definitely reply to it. Now talking about the component, so here we are talking about social assistance, but it's a very generic term, right? We are talking about like some social assistance we're providing, but now we have to become more and more specific about it, right? So for that, when initially in 1995 the scheme was launched, so there were three schemes that were, since the start the schemes were there. First was National Old Age Pension Scheme. So from the name itself you can understand, here the money is being provided to the people, the pension is provided to the people who are now of old age, and definitely they should belong to the BPL category, that is true. There are other eligibility also, what should be the age, there is how much financial assistance to be given, right? But these are the things that we have to do in the subsequent sessions so that you do not get confused. Okay. Second, the second component that was launched from the 1995 or since the inception of the scheme was National Family Benefit Scheme. Okay, so we talked about in certain, we talked about many cases. We talked about maternity, we are talking about the death of the breadwinner, right? There are various certain situations, right? So the second scheme that we talked about, the component under the scheme is National Family Benefit Program. Okay, and at that time there was one more component that was launched. It was National Maternity Benefit Scheme. However, in 2001 this particular component was transferred to the Ministry of Women and Child Development. ठीक है, आपका ये आपका जो है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ विमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट में ये ट्रांसफर हो गया था. ठीक है, तो National Maternity Benefit Scheme is now not the part of the National Social Assistance Program. ठीक है, I hope you have this clarity now. Initially there were three schemes, but now फिर उसके बाद क्या हुआ, 2001 में एक शिफ्ट हो गई. बट देर आर ओवरऑल 5 कॉम्पोनेंट्स. व्हाट आर द रेस्ट 2? लेट्स लुक एट इट. ठीक है, आपका नेक्स्ट है अन्नपूर्णा स्कीम, जो कि लॉन्च हुई थी 2000 में. ठीक है, इन द ईयर ऑफ 2000 अन्नपूर्णा स्कीम वाज लॉन्च. हियर इन दिस पर्टिकुलर अंडर द प्रोग्राम, व्हाट component Annapurna scheme will target. ठीक है, Annapurna scheme talks about Annapurna what? It is Anna means food, right? So this is food distribution scheme. ठीक है, so we have understood social assistance we have to provide. So social assistance is not just financially we are providing, but we are also providing with the food, right? So whoever be the beneficiaries who falls under the scheme, that is National Social Assistance Program, they can take benefit under Annapurna scheme where the food will be provided to them. ठीक है, then we have Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme. ठीक है, widow pension एक scheme है where the widows will get the pension, and then we have one scheme where the disabled person will get the pension. ठीक है, तो overall if you look at, there are 5 components now. Initially if you look at, you might have said that okay, this one National Maternity Benefit was also there, okay, but the rest now it is not part of it. Now it has been switch to some other ministry. So we have National Old Age Pension Scheme, National Family Benefit Scheme, Annapurna Scheme, Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme, and Indira Gandhi National Disability. One is for the old people, one is for the family benefit, one is for the food, one is for the widows, and one is for the disability. Please keep in mind, and that is why we are not moving ahead from this, because today it will be a lot for you to memorize. ठीक है, इसलिए अभी के लिए इतना करते हैं. If you now look at the scheme, now here is basically whatever be the updates are there. For example, जैसे एक बात कर देते हैं, जैसे old age pension scheme, we know that it is a component. Now imagine when in 1995 this particular scheme was launched, at that time rupees 75 was given, but now the money has been increased to rupees 200. ठीक है, बाद में जैसे हमने बीच बीच में रिवाइज हो रही है 2000, 2007, 2009, 11. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद 2011 में क्या हुआ, ये ओल्ड एज कैसे इंक्रीज हो गई, 500 पर पर्सन में हो गई. ठीक है, इसलिए दैट इज व्हाई आई एम सेइंग वी विल डू इट इंडिविजुअली, बिकॉज वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इन योर एग्जामिनेशन दे आस्क यू दैट द अमाउंट हैज बीन इंक्रीज फ्रॉम दिस टू दिस. दे आस्क, इफ यू लुक एट द प्रीवियस ईयर ऑफ इवन RBI also, NABARD also, there have been question observed, and that is why it's important that we do these schemes individually. ठीक है, or we can club if I'll find very short session, if it is of just 5 minutes, I'll combine two schemes and then I'll teach two schemes. Okay, you need not to worry about it, but it's important to have the information of all these. Okay, so this was about the scheme. Okay, and that is all in this video. I can see one or two questions, I'll reply. Okay, Nandan is asking how to download EduTap on iOS. I think you directly from app only, app store, you can download the EduTap app. This is what I have the information, but I'll just confirm again with the team if something else has to be done, and I'll just share in the next session. Shreyam, I'm watching the government scheme list for the first time. Are the schemes covered in this playlist are the ones which are recently mentioned? Yes, Shreyam, all the schemes that are mentioned, initially I show the news also. So for every scheme, those have been in recently mentioned, and that is why we are covering. Sometime it might happen it's a flagship scheme, so if it is not in recently news, but that scheme is very very important, that we are discussing, but rarely do we come up with such schemes. Usually the ones which are in news only, those only we cover. Okay, so that is all in this video. If you like the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, please comment it down, and if you want to get the PDF of this particular lecture, you could please join our Telegram channel. And I am covering now all the schemes that were mentioned in the budget, but if you want to prioritize any scheme, you can just mention it in the comment section, and if that was in news, if that was mentioned in budget, I'll definitely cover. But please keep in mind, I will also prioritize such schemes which I have not covered in this 1 year duration, right? Because see, news, it will keep on updating, right? Current development, it keeps on happening. So that is why I have from my end I have made this criteria that if scheme has been covered within a 1 year range, I am not covering it again, right? But if it will not be covered in 1 year time period, and if it is mentioned in news, if it is mentioned in budget, and you want me to prioritize, do let me know. I'll make a session on that, and any suggestions, everything has been are appreciated. Please give. And welcome Shalini, and yeah, thank you everybody. Again, we'll meet again with another video on another government scheme, definitely one of the component of the scheme that we have done today. Until then, all the very best for your examination, and thank you.